There's a lot of talk lately about political balance in the media, and ABC's The View is right at the center of the latest controversy. Despite branding itself as a talk show where different opinions can collide and spark meaningful discussion, a recent analysis has revealed something surprising, or, depending on your point of view, not so surprising. From January through early April of this year, The View hosted a grand total of 63 left-leaning guests. The number of conservative guests during that same time? 0. That's right. Not one Republican politician, conservative celebrity, or right-leaning commentator made an appearance on the show in the entire first quarter of 2025. This finding comes courtesy of a detailed study by the Media Research Center, a conservative media watchdog. Their analyst Nicholas Fondacaro combed through each episode and found a clear pattern. Plenty of voices from the political left, including 9 prominent Democratic politicians like Senator Elizabeth Warren and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer. Even former Obama staffers such as Jon Favreau and Karine Jean-Pierre got airtime. On the pop culture side, the show featured left-leaning Hollywood figures like John Leguizamo, Chelsea Handler, and Ellen Pompeo. Transgender activist Dylan Mulvaney and progressive pundit Elie Mystal also made appearances, adding to what critics say is a one-sided narrative. To be fair, The View does have 2 Republican women on its permanent panel, Alyssa Farah Griffin and Navarro. However, critics argue that even this representation is watered down. Navarro, for instance, is widely viewed as a Trump critic and more moderate in her stance. So, while the show technically checks a box by having conservative co-hosts, the lack of diversity in its guest lineup paints a different picture. According to Fondacaro, the show's upcoming guest list doesn't look much better either, with more Democrats scheduled and still not a single prominent right-wing voice in sight. This has stirred a broader conversation about fairness in media platforms. Who a show chooses to highlight and who they leave out speaks volumes about its editorial direction. If a program consistently avoids giving the floor to conservative thinkers, it raises questions about the authenticity of the so-called debate it's offering viewers. Are we really having diverse conversations, or just reinforcing a particular worldview? Interestingly, even some of the show's own hosts are starting to question things. Recently, Sunny Hostin critiqued Democratic figures Bernie Sanders and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez for their heavy focus on taxing the rich. While she agreed with the message in theory, she pointed out that everyday Americans are more concerned about immediate issues like inflation, job security, and basic cost of living. Her argument? It's not enough to stir up crowds with populist slogans. People want real solutions that impact their wallets, not just plans to rein in billionaires. This level of self-awareness is refreshing, but it still doesn't address the elephant in the room. Where are the conservative voices? In a time when the country feels more divided than ever, creating space for a wider spectrum of opinions isn't just fair, it's necessary. If The View truly wants to be a place for smart conversation and opposing ideas, then maybe it's time they actually start inviting more people from the other side of the aisle. Because right now, the numbers don't lie, and they're definitely skewed. Thanks for watching.